So for the main weapon, you can pretty much go for any rapier you want. I went with the Antspur rapier. I thought that one just looked really cool. It also has Scarlet Rot, which makes it really fun. I would also advise making it keen, that way it'll scale off of dex as best as possible. For the Ash of War, I went with the Raptor of the Mist. So when you actually manage to get this off, you're not going to take any damage. You'll go up into the air, and we're going to be doing more of a jumping build. So those jumping attacks will do a bit of damage, and we're upping that Scarlet Rot buildup. Plus, it's avian wings, you know, he's the hawk. Basically, just go up into the air like the hawk would, and you'll strike him. So for the seal, I went with the Dragon Communion seal, just because it looks more like the brand. And we're going to be needing it for 3 incantations. You're going to want to use that Golden Vow. You're going to want to use that Flame Grant Me Strength, just because you want to upgrade that attack power as much as possible. Now you can throw on any dagger you want. It doesn't really matter as long as you can put the Bloodhound Step skill within it. That's all that really matters. You want more evade, so that Bloodhound Step will allow you to go from side to side, and then you got Raptor of the Mist that'll allow you to go up. So up first for the armor, this is actually just the Griffith armor. This is going to be the Royal Knight armor, and this is going to allow you to just look, you know, valiantly, gallant, Griffith-like. For the Femto side, you can go with the Malekith's helm. That's pretty much the most bird-like, I would say. A lot of people want to associate that one with Guts' build, but, you know, if anything, I would think it's more of a Femto build, right? But for the rest of the armor, I found this Drake Knight armor. Basically, you have dragon wings on the back, and those almost look like Femto's wings. So I went with this, and it looks really cool, and it kind of goes with the motif of the weapon we have, too. Now, for the third set, you could also just go with a full Malekith's armor, but personally, I think the Drake Hunter is the best. So for the first talisman, I went with the Claw Talisman. That's going to enhance our jump attacks. You're going to actually get a bonus from Raptor of the Mist because it counts it as a jump attack. So we're going to increase that damage just a little bit more, and it's pretty fun. Now, I went with the Marikasaur Seal. This is just giving me some more mind to be able to run around and have fun. It also gives me some more faith, so that way I can do the third incantation, and I think that third incantation just kind of brings the build together and just makes it a little bit more interesting. I also went with the Kindred of Rot's Exaltation. This is going to poison or rot in vicinity, will increase your attack power. So basically, since you're doing a bunch of rot anyways, you're just getting more attack power as long as you keep attacking. So I went with the Two Fingers Heirloom here just because I wanted to have 35 faith. Now you could change this out if you want, add 5 more points into faith, and that way you're able to do that third incantation and then switch it out with something with more damage negation, or give you some more FP, and that way you can just keep doing your abilities more and more. For the Flask of Wondrous Physick, I have the Cerulean Hidden Tier on for the first one. That's going to eliminate that FP consumption for 15 seconds. It's going to give you your setup, and you can do that third incantation off pretty hard. For the second one, I actually kind of liked the Opaline Heart Tier. That's going to boost all damage negation. Just being able to stay into the fight more often was really fun. So taking a significantly less amount of damage was just able to keep me in more and allowing me to just do more Raptor of the Mist. And if I was hitting those Raptor of the Mist, I wasn't taking any damage. For the first incantation, you want that Golden Vow. That's just going to boost your attack power, and it's going to give you some more defense. You know, taking less damage is always good, right? And for the second incantation, you definitely want that Flame Grant Me Strength. It's going to work off that Golden Vow, and it's going to increase your attack power by about 45-50% with both of them stacked on top of each other. Now, this is the real fun incantation, the third one, the Scarlet Aeona. And this is just kind of like the rebirth spell. So you go from his malnourished form just straight into Femto by using this. If you can switch your gear out fast enough, hey. For the Grey Rune, pretty much just went with Godric's Grey Rune is pretty good. Rykard's Grey Rune can also work out too if you just want to increase your healing whenever you kill anything. Although that Grey Rune isn't great against bosses necessarily. Now, onto the stats. For Vigor, I just put it up to 50. They give me a good amount of HP. Pretty good, you want that HP. Now for Mind, I have that at 20, and you can actually reduce some of the Endurance a bit and put that into Mind if you want, and just increase your FP a bit more. As long as you're able to wield all the weapons that you want and have the armor on, keep your Endurance at a lower bit, because Stamina for this matter isn't actually affected as much as you think. For Strength, Intelligence, and Arcane, I just didn't touch it all. Dexterity, I have up at 80. That's going to give me the best amount of damage for my weapon, considering I have it scaling off of Keen. Might as well increase that Dexterity all the way up to its cap. And I wouldn't go above 80. Never go above 80. Now, Faith is at 25. With the Marikasaur Seal and the Faith Talisman, that's going to put it up to 35 to be able to use that Scarlet Aeonia. So putting it up to 25 faith is not that bad, right? And with faith, I mean, that's kind of Griffith's motif a bit, right? He's got a bunch of followers, a bunch of people that are basically making a religion around him itself. Now, this build can actually get pretty crazy on how it works. So you're going to want to just poke the boss as best as you can and look out for its attacks. When its attacks come in, you're going to want to hit that L2 for Raptor of the Miss. If they actually miss you, then your FP won't get reduced by using the skill. Only if they actually hit you when you get launched into the air. And if they do, then you can poke them for damage. Otherwise, get back up, poke them, and then you can just go back into Raptor of the Miss. What's actually really interesting is that Raptor of the Miss is animation canceling the attack early. So you can actually spam the two really fast in succession. Now I will have to say that using Raptor of the Miss takes quite a bit getting used to. If you thought just learning how to dodge naturally was hard, trying to get the timing of Raptor of the Miss effectively is even that much more challenging, but it's so much more satisfying if you actually pull it off. And so with that, you're pretty much just going to want to start any fight by popping your Flask, using Golden Vow, using Flame Grant Me Strength, and then you're going to want to use Scarlet Aeonia if you have the opportunity. It has the possibility of rotting the boss, and it just looks really cool. So after that, you can just do Raptor of the Miss, Bloodhound Fangs if you want, dodges, just to try to evade as much as possible. And then you're just poking. Eventually that rot will get onto them, or whatever weapon you're using. And then you just keep going at it on the boss, big enemy, whatever you're fighting. Basically, like I said before, just rinse and repeat these kind of same steps and just get your timing down as best as possible. I would say it'll actually take you quite a bit while to get the Raptor of the Miss timed perfectly well, especially with every single boss. But if you went through like New Game Plus doing just this build, you'll have it down easily by the end of the game, and you'll just be super cool looking. I really hope you liked this Griffith/Femto build. It was actually really fun to make, and trying to figure out what kind of moves Griffith would actually make later on in the series was a bit of a challenge, but quite fun. So let me know what other characters you'd like to see in the comments below, and I'll try my best to make them viable.